Welcome to the Mediocre to Magnificent podcast. I'm your co-host, Braxton Matson, and your host, Lee A. Williams, and I just want to say thank you for tuning in because you are what makes this pure magnificence. You are the ripple effect of magnificence, and we are going to bring you a message that will give you insight, inspire you, motivate you, and challenge you to not only grow in your magnificence, but let you know that you are magnificent in everything you do. So stay tuned, you don't want to miss it. Lee, man,
Yes, sir.
we are back.
We're here.
Your host, Lee, co-host Braxton.
That's right.
Another episode.
Yeah, man.
I'm going to enjoy this episode.
Yeah, man. Talking about the bowling.
Bowling.
So I know I wanted to talk about it, but how did it come about, man?
So, we were on the call, and Jamie, Coleman, and I were talking about how, we got to get together on, do something.
Right.
Kind of like what we did with Talk Golf.
Yeah.
We did that.
Meetups.
So, we were like, well, what about bowling? Bowling would be cool. I was game for bowling. I like bowling.
Right.
But we never followed up on it. So, maybe 3 months went on, I think. We got on the call again, and we brought it up, and we're like, we got to schedule it now. Before we get off this phone, we got to schedule it.
Who brought it up?
Jamie. I think it was Jamie or Coleman. I know it was either, or both of them probably.
Yeah.
But I think Jamie was the one that said, let's do it. Let's put it on the call.
Well,
Let's schedule it.
Right.
So we scheduled it, and we were texting back and forth, getting the times right for when we we're going to be able to do it. And you weren't even on the text messages.
Right.
Until the tail end.
That's probably intentional, but it's fine.
So, but you were able to come, and I had a blast, man. It was fun. It was funny too. I'm interested in what you're gonna bring up on that.
Oh man, yeah. But so with the texting, I'm like, okay. So when I finally get told the date and the time, I'm like, oh man, I got something else going on. So I just like, hey, what time and how long you think y'all be there? So I can make a choice. Like, well, okay, well, do I make it?
Right.
Do I not make it? Do I bowl? Do I actually bowl? Do I just show up and show my face for the time that I can show my face?
Yeah.
So now I think that's when you include me, like put me in the group text.
Yeah, because
loop.
I had texted you individually.
Yeah.
But I don't think I got anything back on it. And then we added you to the group text.
Yeah.
So, and I was like,
when you asked me individually, I said, well, like, what's the time frame? So then you.
Yeah, I went back.
In the loop
I got
said,
you in the loop. Yeah.
Hey, how long y'all think we'll be there?
We were thinking like an hour.
And then that's when Coleman wanted to do his thing. I'm actually gonna read what he said.
You're gonna read it?
Yeah, I don't want to mess it up.
Yeah.
It will not take long for me to scrub y'all up.
I got a kick out of it, man. I think I did a laughing emoji on that one.
Yeah, and said, nah, for real. I gotta go downtown by 8:15, so it won't be that long.
Yeah.
But immediately, the trash
Talking game
started.
Yeah.
So
I'm not a trash talker, though, man. I'm not a trash talker.
Yeah. And I have been known to be a trash talker.
Yeah.
I could trash talk with the best of them.
Yeah.
But in this environment, in this setting, I didn't feel the need to, talk trash.
Right.
But it started immediately. What do you think? What did you think about that?
My first reaction was, since you were on the text, I'm like, I'm wondering what Lee's thinking right now.
Oh, really?
That's what I was thinking.
Why?
Because I'm like, because you're competitive.
Yeah.
Like, you are you, Coleman. Like, y'all are, competitive. And it was so funny because when you got to the bowl, because I got to the bowling alley first.
Yeah.
Then you came in. And you were like, if anything, we cannot let
You like that?
And I busted out laughing. I was like, it was so funny. And he's got like his own gear. So I'm like, when somebody brings their own gear.
Yeah. But I have my own gear too.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like y'all, like they're for real. Like
Oh, it's a different level.
They
both.
When you get your own ball and your own setup,
shoe bag.
Yeah. Because I think I joked around. I'm like the rental guy. I'm like
the rental guy.
I'll get the shoes and give me the ball, kind of thing.
Yeah. So we're like, okay, yeah. So Coleman actually shows up next.
Yeah, he does. Mm-hmm.
But he doesn't have his stuff.
Right.
And he's like, oh man, I don't have my stuff.
Yeah.
Do I have time to run home? Because Jamie wasn't there yet.
Mm-hmm.
We're like, yeah, most likely you probably do. Because
yeah, he's close by.
we said the time is 5:30 and it's not 5:30 yet.
Mm-hmm.
So go run and get your stuff. And I didn't say this, but after you talking trash, you going to need your stuff. But I kept that to myself.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I didn't say that.
No excuses. You didn't want to have any excuses.
Yeah. Like,
kind of thing.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you lose today, I wanted it to be your full,
like no excuses.
Like, oh, I didn't have my stuff. That's why. Mm-hmm. Go get your stuff. Because you already started talking crap.
That was so
But
funny.
yeah, so that's cool. So we get out there, man. And so what do you think about, like, the dynamic when we were out there?
I thought it was, like, kind of cool, man, because we were kind of, like, individually, for me, I like trying to figure out your own groove.
Yeah, yeah.
Because there's people, you're going to roll it differently.
Yeah, yeah.
So just watching how, like, Coleman rolled, because he curves it.
Yeah, yeah.
But like how he curves it, I've never seen like him do it that way.
Yeah, yeah.
I've seen it more like from the side, and then they kind of like
right.
curve that kind of stuff. But to watch him do it, and then you're like just straight down, consistent with it. So it's like trying to find your own groove, and then once you get in your groove, staying in it. Like that was kind of.
So the first, like, so people think like, oh, we're just talking about bowling, but the thought process. So we've heard the term, like, the phrase, "a rising tide raises all ships."
Yeah.
So just so you're like, oh man, y'all are competitive. Mm-hmm. It's like, okay, like, you got to put down who bowls first. Mm-hmm. So if we put down like, oh, you're gonna go first, and then the person's like, that's truly competitive, wants to stay back to be like, oh, I got them easy. I could just.
Yeah. No, you gotta put them up front, man.
Right.
You gotta.
So guess where I put my name?
Yours was first. Was yours first?
Yeah.
Yeah, you had yours first. And then it was Coleman. Then me. And then Jamie.
Right.
Yeah.
I did that intentionally.
Yeah. It makes sense.
To put a lesson.
It definitely makes sense. Watching how it played out towards the end too. It really did make sense.
So what'd you think about me doing that? Like, because what if I would have put Jamie first?
If you would have put Jamie first,
then
it would have been a different dynamic.
Then Coleman, or then switch me and Coleman.
Well, I think it would be a different dynamic because then it's like, well, the ones that are really good.
Oh my God.
I guess let's just put it that way. The ones that are really good that don't have to go first, they don't really have to play 100%. You know what I mean? Like it makes you like, okay, well, I ain't got to play 100%.
So do you think that by me going first, it raised the bar?
It raised the competition for sure, especially when you start rolling and
striking
like,
first, right out the gate.
Like, right out the gate,
like,
got a strike. I was like, ooh,
ooh, nah. I don't know if that's exactly what happened, but it's still like, okay, they came to play.
Yeah,
right. That's good.
Yeah. So it raises, like you said, it raises the game where it's, but you got to understand, it's not like, you can't get it in your head to where it's like, oh man, I got to compete against him. It's more about like, okay, I got to like improve what I got as far as my game.
Yeah.
Like,
so
I can't be attached to that.
I could say that I'm in that process. I knew, like, especially because when I go, I mean, and I think Coleman could say this too about sometimes. My wife could be up by 20 Last frame, I'll hit 3-strike turkey and win the game.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just be like,
Clutch.
if you're gonna beat me,
Yeah.
you're gonna have to bowl one of your best.
Yeah.
And it's not even because I'm like an amazing bowler.
Right.
It's just because
the competitive nature of like you're able to put yourself in that situation.
And I just rise. So I was like, well, I definitely don't need to be that. Like, we're here to have a good time.
Right.
I want to just do my best.
Right.
And I know by me doing my best, wherever these guys are at,
it raises the game, man.
They're going to be able to.
Yeah.
And of course, I mean, I want to take care of it, you know. Because y'all know y'all, when we were sitting back, it was like, when we walk in, he said, man, you got your own ball? Like, oh, man, you got...
I said it like, man, it's like, yeah. It's like, they're serious, man.
So then, say this, like, and Jamie made a comment, man. He was like, I asked, I said, man, you know we're going to talk about this on the podcast? He was like, yeah. I was like, so what do you want me to convey from your perspective, man? And he was like, man, I just really appreciate, like, you being who you are and having a mentor. Because Braxton and Coleman, they weren't going to tell me or coach me or try to tell me nothing.
Well, and that, yeah, because he was showing you.
He said, thank you that you showed up.
Yeah.
And you got included, because them guys were just going to brutalize me. Because, you know, he don't bowl like that.
Yeah,
That's what he said. He ain't bowled like that.
Right.
So, like, as far as, like, some of the marking, some of the steps, counting the, you know, knowing your position.
Yeah, because you would go up there and you'd show them.
Yeah.
Like you would tell them, like, how we're bowling, and then how he's bowling.
Yeah.
And then just basically how to get it positioned where you can just get it down the line.
So he was thankful for that, like, for people being who they are.
Right.
So it's just to tie in, like, okay, so where in a certain situation, certain life, certain example that you have the opportunity to be who you are. Like, even though that I'm trying to win, or if you say, well, I'm not trying to win, I just want you to sincerely lose. Focusing on myself, playing my best game.
Right.
Where do you still be who you are and say, hey, man, I can give you some pointers. And if I wasn't there, would y'all, like, what would
I would have helped out, yeah.
You would have?
Yeah, I would have helped out with it.
That's good.
Because he was a right-hand bowler, too.
No, he was left.
Oh, he was left-handed?
Yeah, left.
Okay.
And that was what was interesting, too, because it was 3 lefts.
Right, yeah.
3 lefties.
Uh-huh.
What's the odds of that?
That's
so to say this, so out of the, so, you know, obviously it's like, oh, it's going to be Coleman or Lee going for the win.
Yeah.
And then who ended up winning the first game?
I snuck up, man. I was like hanging around.
Yeah.
And then I got you by what? 2 or 3 points?
2 points, yeah.
Yeah.
Something like that.
I was like, okay, I got to win in. I got to win. I got, like...
So what did you think about the win?
I liked it, man, because I liked the fact that I was just like... I was improving. Now, after, like, the 3rd game, I kind of, like, I was kind of like...
Oh, you gave up?
Yeah. I was like, I gotta figure out how to get it down there.
I got to figure out how to get it out of the way.
Yeah, because it was... Yeah. I was a little sore after that. But, like... getting that first win, I was like, okay.
Yeah.
But then it was more like doing the rest of the games. It was like, okay, how do I tweak it to where I get more consistent? Because I kind of fell off, and then I kind of picked. Okay, I think the 3rd game, it might have been the 3rd game. I kind of got more consistent with it, but that tail end, it kind of fell off because my arm was kind of getting a little sore.
A little wild.
I actually messed my finger up, man.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't know.
You're having a lot going. It took a lot for you to win.
Man, I think the last 2 bowls, I did something with my finger, man.
Yeah. So the funny thing is, you know, once Coleman talked trash, and we've done disc golf, and me and you've done different things, you know.
Yeah.
So I always want to win.
Right.
I mean, if someone says, "Oh, I don't want to win," I don't care about winning. Like, you might have to really just.
You want to win. You
say, hey, what's going on with you? But the thought process is to say, like, no, I really just want to do my best. And what my best is, where that lands me, we'll go from there. But I jokingly said once Common talked trash, said, hey, whatever we do, we don't let Common win.
Yeah.
So when we would go up there, and it's like, oh man, he done got a strike. And it's so funny, like, because then, like, they're your friends, you know?
Yeah.
Because I know he did it to me, like, hit a strike. He's like, he was cheering for me not to get a strike. And it's almost like, where do you go to the competition to the point where for your friends, you're cheering, like, for them not to do good so you could do better or win?
I think it's a dynamic, like when you have like friends like that.
Because like, were you rooting for me to like gutter it?
Me?
Yeah, were you rooting for other guys?
No, I wasn't rooting for you to gutter it.
Or like not do a good job.
I really wasn't rooting for you to not do a good job.
Yeah.
I was just banking on like, okay, it was just because you know how some of them you go straight down and it's like, oh yeah, it's a strike, and then you got like two of them like just sitting there. Like I was banking on that.
Oh, banking on like, oh, he'll leave something standing.
But there was a point where like we just knew once you threw it, I was like, man,
he's in the zone.
Because you got in the zone. Like there was one game you were like just constant.
Yeah.
I was like, man,
there's a problem. We've got a problem on our hands. Yeah.
That's the point where like trash talking and that doesn't help. It's almost like it feeds it more than anything.
Like, okay, like here we go. We're eating turkey tonight.
Right. Yeah. So.
Yeah. But so the last like really point, man, was, you know, I'm gonna say it this way because he deserves it and he can take it. I can't wait till he listens to this. So we ran Common out of the bowling alley.
We did.
We beat him so bad. We beat him so bad he had to leave. That's the way we're gonna tell the story.
Man.
Nah, but even though he from the beginning he said he had somewhere to be, but that's fine.
Yeah.
But my story is gonna be, after those couple of losses, you had somewhere to go. Where you need to go got more important, buddy. But but so we were letting Jamie. Because, you know, he needed the more practice and some of the things coaching that I was giving him.
Yeah, he took over Coleman's spot.
Yeah, said like, well, you roll on his name. Mm-hmm. And then now knowing that your arm's killing you.
I'm like thinking,
you're falling apart. Let Jamie roll, right? And I'm consistently crushing it. So it's like, I don't need no extra. So the thing is, when Jamie was rolling for Coleman, he was doing better. Than on his own name.
Yeah.
So then I talked about that. I said, man, what do you think? I said, hey, man, what do you think that was when you walk up to Coleman's name and you hitting strikes like it wasn't nothing? Then when you get to your name, I mean,
that is interesting though. It's like you don't have the.
Watch, because we worked through it.
Yeah.
It's like. You don't have the pressure on Coleman's name. It's like, just get up there and just throw the ball. Yeah. Whatever happens is his
There's
name.
no pressure.
Like, if he loses, we want him to lose anyway. But within that, he was striking it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, okay, well, what did you feel and what could you anchor in that? Then when you get up for yourself. So then the message ends up being like, where do you put pressure?
Yeah.
That's really not real.
Supposed to really, it's not there.
Because James was like, man, because you were teaching me, told me the marks and told me the steps, and on Coleman's name, I would just get up and just fling it down the lane.
Right.
And when I get up on my name, I'm like, oh man, I gotta do good. I need to count, and I would get tripped up and mess my sequence up and not do well. And it was like, where else in life do you put unnecessary pressure when you just need to get up there?
Just need to do it. Just need to do it.
Fling it down the lane.
Yeah.
And that's when do we stay in our lane? And see, that's like with me, and if we go back to like putting my name first, like bowl and stay in your lane, I get it. But leaders lead.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, you taught Jamie, showed Jamie a few pointers. Teachers teach.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so stay in your lane. You don't have to beat up recreate the wheel. Like, oh, it's going to be something it's not. Talk just enough trash to
Right.
get in their head.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like, oh, it's going to get serious now. Like, you know, make a little comment like, oh, good, nice try, buddy. Like, look, then, you know, you throw it like, oh, maybe next time you'll pick up that. And, you know, it's still positive, but it's like.
Yeah. You get a little bit.
But sometimes in wearing those outside circumstances, like people are heckling you, whatever your heckler is in life, that you're able to stay focused on.
Right.
I'm going to do my best.
Yeah.
And like, you know, not to take away your victory, but I just needed to warm up, man.
I know.
Look,
yeah.
The first game was just
First game
knocking
was
the dust off.
usually the warm up. Yeah. Yeah. First
We had
game
to play
usually
2 or
the
3
warm-up.
to get it going.
Mm-hmm.
But then that could be like, okay, where do you not stay consistent enough that with whatever it is, that you have to knock the dust off? Like, oh, I got to get back consistent with my meals.
Right.
Or I got to get back consistent with my movement. Or I got to get back consistent with my meetups.
Right.
Whatever. And you're like, oh, I need to knock the dust off from my meditation. It's like, man, you got up to the point where you were whatever your level was. 30 minutes. Straight lotus. Zenned out, doing your thing. And it's
Right.
like,
Yeah, just getting back to it.
getting back to it, man.
And it's like, and a lot of things, like you said, the things you got to get back to, it not necessarily takes as long to get back to it. You just got to get back into it.
Right.
Yeah, that's the thing.
And so it was so funny because Jamie was like, man, I want to plan the next meetup.
Yeah.
But we need to go do axe throwing or something because I need to have an even playing field because you guys, man. And he was like, if y'all show up with your own axes, man, I'm walking out.
That's so funny. Oh, yeah. If y'all, yeah, man. Because I've done axe throwing. It's fun.
Yeah.
And once you get the rotation down,
I've done it too.
it's pretty.
So he was like, man, I don't know if Carmen's done it, but I've done it. I only done it one time. But that's what I was telling Jamie. I said, man, and it's not to be, because there's a book, like the 8 Great Smarts.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm physical smart. Like, so I have more of the athletic, like, I'm an athlete. Like, I'm physical smart.
Yeah.
Like, you look at me and be like, oh, you're going to stand up paddleboard and put the paddleboard out there and stand up. And you're like, man, look at this big old joker out here on the paddleboard.
Right.
But I know I'm physical smart.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, go out there, throw the axe, a few hand-eye coordination, it's like, oh man, he's hitting the bullseye. I said, man, you might want to go 1 or 2 times
Yeah.
before you go with us, man, especially if you are wanting to compete. But if you just want to go have a good time, I said, especially because he talked about you, he said, yeah, Braxton seems like he'll fool you.
Yeah,
He talked about talk off. He's like, man, Braxton was hitting hitting it to the net, and then bowling. He snuck up and won the first game. It's like we're talking about the trash talker, but we need to be worried about the person that ain't said nothing.
Yeah, I'll fool you. I'll fool you on some stuff.
I'm like, man, where did he come from, man?
Yeah.
He was losing the whole game. No, just like,
He just sit there a third the whole time.
right.
So the last 2 frames.
Last 2 frames.
But yeah.
But where's that in life, though?
That is, yeah. Like, is it
Can you stay consistent long enough?
consistent long enough? That's kind of what I got out of the bowling.
Can you stay consistent long enough?
Because I was sitting there like, I'm consistent. And I remember the second game, I was rolling spares all the way up to like the 7th, 8th frame.
Yeah, and then you kind of.
And then I fell off. And I was like, why am I, like, it's the
Yeah.
consistency.
Can you stay consistent long enough?
Right. So that's a takeaway from me.
That's a message
on that
right
one.
there.
Yeah. That's definitely a takeaway.
Can you
Consistency.
stay long enough?
Yeah.
And whatever you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
So you get
Yeah,
the,
like
so you get the
reflect on
victory.
whatever it is, whatever aspect of your life.
And that's the thing, like, especially with my wife, like, when we would go bowling, it ain't like I was like, oh, man, I scored a 300 game, I scored, 275. Like, it wasn't like that. I've had some twos, but some 200s. But what it is for me is just like, I'll knock a bunch down,
right?
And I'll pick up the spare. Knock a bunch down. You have to know the scoring for that.
Right.
And it's just like, if you leave some pins up there, you're not gonna win.
Right.
If somebody's hitting them all down, and not necessarily saying they're hitting them all down from the beginning, just all down, they're not leaving any up.
Right.
So that's what consistency are you like? What are you knocking down in your life, and what are you leaving untouched? What are you leaving up? It needs to be like, hey, you need to take care of that.
Take care of it.
And even if you need to phone a friend and say, hey, can you give me a few pointers?
Right.
You got to have a sense
mentor
to do that. And yeah, so it was fun. It was fun. I appreciate y'all finally including me and me getting an invite in that, man. Hopefully,
I loved it, man.
Hopefully the axe throwing won't be 6 months from now.
It shouldn't be. It shouldn't be.
We'll see. You know, I mean, I know I'm intentionally falling back.
Yeah.
From that, just to give you all the opportunity to like, y'all gonna make it happen, and you see that it's fun and enjoyable, and you actually have a good experience. That make it happen, and it's giving somebody else the opportunity to take the lead, and it's good.
Yeah,
because I don't mind coming to spank y'all anytime. look, being like Colin. That's what Colin's gonna say.
Yeah,
but I don't mind coming to raise the bar. Like, cause I mean, the brand's mediocre to magnificent.
You gotta raise the bar.
I don't mind coming and to bring magnificence, whatever that looks like.
Whatever.
Cause I mean, it was rewarding just for me for him to say like, man, if you wouldn't have came,
right?
I don't know what them guys would have did, how they would have treated me.
I don't know.
I mean, but you said you would have helped him, but
I would have helped. Yeah.
But if the way he felt is like, man, them guys didn't care nothing about me, man. They were just gonna let me go out there. And just,
yeah.
It's like, man, that's why I was supposed to be there, man.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's true.
I mean, in a sense.
In a way, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Right, yeah.
Because we all had different style of bowling.
Yeah.
So it's like teaching the fundamentals is one thing. But then taking the fundamentals and applying it to somebody in the way they do it.
Yeah.
That's a whole nother level.
It's a whole nother level, man.
Yeah. It really is.
Yeah.
So.
What if we go bowling again and Jamie shows up with his old ball and set and like, are you still going to be the rental guy, or do you think you'd ever get to the level, or are you like, man, I don't need to get that serious to beat you guys?
That would be.
What if we all win?
Man, that would be icing on the cake if you'd be like, yeah, y'all
old.
show up, be all gear. I'll just get my rentals out and I'll just whip you. Like right. That would be.
Well, what if he joined the league and like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Came back and was like, hey man, y'all ready to go bowling again? Like, yeah, sure. And he walked in with the full suitcase, roller,
full gear.
Yeah.
Ooh.
And you're like, Jamie, what's been going on, man? Like, nothing. Just someone to have my own gear.
Just when he got my own gear. Then he sweeps you.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
But yeah, I liked it, man.
But the reason why I said that is like, it's your priorities. So people give energy to things that's their priority. So in the effort that is like, he could get better.
Mm-hmm. But is it the priority?
Right.
Yeah.
And does he want to give the energy necessary to get better? Because it's not that. I know I said, well, I have the physical smart. And that could be 100% true. But that doesn't mean that if we just put point blank, talk about the reps.
Yeah. Who
had the more repetitions in saying, okay, when I throw the ball like this, it strikes. It knocks all the pins down. And making that note. So if I've had 10,000 hours, mastery level, you've had 3 hours. Is it really that I'm better, or have I just had more time?
Right.
So what are you going to give more time to?
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good good example of that.
Mm-hmm.
What you
But
put your
yeah,
time into.
that's the bowling podcast, man. I don't know what the name's gonna be, so you have to figure that out. But
Yeah, I'll figure it out. I'll figure that one out. It'll be good.
I had fun, man.
Oh, it was magnificent, man.
Yes,
I'm ready for the next go around.
Mm.
Whatever we want to plan it.
Yeah, I look forward to
And the axe throwing. Maybe we could do some disc golf too.
hearing about that. Well, you already know what happened to disc golf, man.
Yeah.
I think we talked about it too.
Yeah, we did.
On here, you trying to do the whole what was it? X step.
Man, I was trying to get. I was way too deep into
And
it,
I just went out there.
and you just straight foot, didn't even move, just ripped it. Consistency.
It's like I was very consistent. Like, what's the it's par? Okay, I got how many throws to make it there? Okay, great.
Right. Like I like how, like you said, you stay in your lane. You're not trying to do X, Y, Z.
Yeah.
You stay in your lane. And then just get consistent with it.
And then, but that messes with your mind too, though.
It does.
It messes with you.
It does. Yeah. Especially when you're competitive and you're like, you know, they're up and you're like, I gotta change it. I gotta do something.
Yeah. So then you gotta do, and then you're switching it up, and it's like, 'cause I think Coleman did something like that.
I think he did.
I shouldn't even say this. He
He
started
had
rolling
his
my ball.
Yeah, because your ball, because he had the curve ball, so the center of gravity is off on the ball with the curve. So he started rolling the straight. If he had like some extras, so he wanted to get a ball that goes straight instead of
so you
curving.
can knock him down.
Right.
But then it's like,
But then you're adding an extra layer to it.
What are
because
you
that ain't
doing?
even your ball.
right. That's funny.
Yeah.
And of course I was like, so I was like, can I use your ball? Sure. Because if I win, be like, man, or if he wins, be like, man, you had to use my ball to win. That's right. Give a little extra dig to him.
Yeah.
Like, oh man, that man started picking up other balls, man, to try to.
Oh man.
But yeah, that's fun. That's it, man. Till next time.
This is your co-host here, Braxton Matson, and Lee and I just want to say thank you so much for tuning into this episode. We hope you've enjoyed it just as much as we did making it, but we couldn't do it without you. So please hit that like button, leave us a rating, leave us a review. Let us know what topic or subject that you would like us to talk about in your journey from mediocre to magnificent. But most of all, share it. Be the ripple effect of magnificence and know that you are magnificent in everything you do. Till next time.